Hello, good afternoon. Hi. Of course, you know me. I hope so. Well, my name is Sudhin Mathur. I'm the Managing Director for Motorola Mobility India. If you can settle down, then we can start very quickly the proceedings of the day. So I'd also like to welcome people who are watching us live today on YouTube as well as the Facebook. It's becoming kind of a habit, right? I think it was only about 2 weeks back we met when we launched our the new Moto C series, which was targeted more to the first-time buyers in that segment. But I think before that, we also met about some of you, not all, when we met and launched the Moto Z Play, the Z2 Play, the second generation, which was about our establishing ourselves in the premium category. Today, we are obviously, as you all know, we are here to launch the next Moto E generation, the fourth generation. And in the next 30 minutes or so, you will get to know more about the product. But I'm here to talk more about and share some of the insights in terms of how we are progressing our business. It's been a great journey so far, 4 years in this country. We have moved from strength to strength, obviously launching many products, experiences as well, both from Lenovo and Moto point of view as well. But I just want to touch upon some of our goals that we have set for ourselves as a company, as a brand, what we mean, what are we doing in this country, and what are the steps that we are taking. And in terms of bringing great consumer experiences for the consumers out here in India who are buying either a Lenovo or a Motorola product. And it's built on four-pronged strategies, which I've shared earlier as well. I just want to reiterate that once more. We are a pretty dominant player, as you know, in the e-commerce. And e-commerce has grown pretty rapidly in the last 2.5 years. We have grown along with that, along with our partners, both at all the e-commerce partners that are there as well. We have been launching several products in that. And we are, like I said, a pretty dominant player in the e-commerce. And we continue to forge on in that direction as well. The second part of our strategy that I had actually talked about is obviously to strengthen the retail. I mean, there are different kind of consumers, and in this journey of this mobile industry, I wouldn't say just the smartphone industry, the mobile industry, which is now probably almost 2 decades, right? 96, 97 was the first phone or a mobile phone that ever rang in that country. Over these years, the industry has grown. There has been many transitions that we have seen, feature phone, smartphone, e-commerce, retail. So there is an evolution that has been happening. And this industry, every 3 years or 4 years, brings in a new kind of possibilities for different brands to emerge. Old brands die, new brands emerge. But the key is that the consumer keeps evolving. He brings in great propositions, new thought processes in terms of what they need. And we continue to forge and drive on that. And which is where the second part of our strategy, which I had always talked about, is to strengthen the retail footprint. While I said we are extremely strong in the e-commerce part of the business, we are continuing to forge our journey in the e-commerce as well. And if some of you go and see in the retail outlet today, you will see an entire range of product portfolio and a very differentiated experiences in the retail out there as well for the consumers who are wanting to go and get a touch and feel of the market. I think an important part that I touched briefly, and I just want to reiterate that once again, is to build a premium. India is a very large market, as you all know. This year, IDC is projecting almost 120 million smartphone users in this country. A large part of it, from a value point of view as well, are consumers who are looking for a premium product and premium experiences. And for those kind of consumers, in the past, we launched the Moto Z series that you have seen. And the second generation of Z2, along with the Moto mods, is the proposition that we bring. And last but not the least is about the experience, and that's what Motorola brings. Some of you and our consumers who are watching us today live, who are using a Motorola product, whether it was the first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation of the Moto G, the Moto E, or the previous generation products that we have launched in the market. They know what Moto experience is all about. That's what we bring on the table. It is not just about price and spec and features. It is about the experiences. And that's how, like I talked, the consumer journey is evolving. They are looking for something more. It's something that is very personal to everybody, a mobile phone or a smartphone that you carry. And with them, we try and personalize the experiences that they have. And we will talk more about it. We have been talking about it in our previous portfolios that we have been launching. Today also we will talk a little bit more about it when we talk about the next generation of Moto E. But coming back to why we are here today, which is the Moto E. So I would like to probably talk a little bit more about this particular segment of the smartphone industry. Like I said, this year 110, 150, 120 million consumers are going to buy a smartphone. A lot of them are upgrading as well within the smartphone category. They entered from a feature phone to a smartphone, obviously in a lower price tier, and they have got their first experience of a smartphone and now looking to upgrade within the smartphone category into the next tier. This is the segment what we call as the value segment or the value seeker, which is today the largest price band or a segment in this country. And I will share a little bit more about what these consumers are, but just to talk briefly about how big this category or this segment is. This is the biggest today. In the last 4 quarters, if I was just to take last 4 quarters that have gone by, almost 52 million people have bought a product in this price band, which is ranging from $100 to $200. Let's just say maybe 6,500 to 13,000 or 12,000 rupee. So it's a very, very large segment and the biggest segment. These we call as the value segment. It is kind of equally split between online and offline, or the e-commerce or the brick and mortar retail. Consumers, some of the consumers go and buy in the normal retail channels, and some people go and buy in the e-commerce channel. And if you look at the data that is shown here, very interesting that a larger segment, while it is almost the same, a larger consumers in this price band are still buying from an e-commerce channel. The reason being because they have already understood what a smartphone is about, they have experience and they are the upgraders, but still in the value segment as well, and are willing to buy and pay a little extra for a good premium product as well. We have been a pretty dominant player in this segment. Like I said, we have been launching in the past as well, some part of the G series, but more importantly, I just want to touch upon the E series as well, which has been largely in this price band, has been fairly successful. The data that you see here, about 28%, we are a very, very dominant player in the e-commerce segment, and that has largely been the success that we have had in the past with the E series, and of course now most recently the C series that we have launched. So both E and C series put together now, the historical last 4 quarters, we have a very, very dominant share. And we will continue to forge our journey in that. But let's just step back and talk about the consumer himself. I mean, 52 million people are buying products, right? In this, it's a large consumer base out there who's wanting to buy a product. And what are they looking at? Like I said, they are the first-time upgraders. They are value seekers. They are looking for very, very specific sets of features and functionalities on the phone. These are 2 or 3 of them, and which I just want to talk about. They want more RAM. And why do they want more RAM? Because they are engaging a lot with nowadays, as you know, about the content. These are young consumers, 18 to 25 years of age, maybe first jobbers as well, living across the country, not just necessarily in metro. They are consuming a lot of data. They're watching YouTube in today's day and age and sharing their content on Facebook or any other means that they have. So therefore, they need a larger memory. So they seek a larger memory on their phone as well. Second is to experience these kind of functionalities that they look for, they need a larger battery. And this comes out very, very clearly when we talk to these consumers. And third, of course, is the camera, which is about living your memories. Like I said, young people, and all of us know that, and some of you sitting here as well, taking pictures, whether it's from your selfie camera or the rear camera that you have, which is capturing your memories through a good camera. So these are the 3 large, very distinct needs that are emerging when we talk about this consumer segment. Great RAM, good battery, and a great camera. And that has been largely the genesis of the E generation that we have launched. Some of you have been in this industry for long and have been following Motorola. We have had great success. Today we are launching the 4th generation of Moto E, but we've had great success from the past 3 generations, the Moto, the 1st generation, the 2nd generation, and the 3rd generation. And there has been a step up from 1st generation to the 2nd generation to the 3rd generation. The screen sizes have improved, the memories have improved, the cameras have improved. Some of you, E3 Power, which has been probably also just very recently been in the market as well, had a 5-inch HD display, of course, had a great battery life as well. And that's the generation to generation that we have upgraded based on the consumer needs. Today, if I look back in the last 4 years since Motorola has been present, there are more than, I would say, close to about 4 million consumers out there who have bought the past 3 generations of the Moto E series. And we are very happy that we have a very large, happy fan base of Moto E, which is there in this country. And we are very confident with the launch of the next generation of Moto, which is the 4th generation of Moto E. You will see that is a definite step up from the previous generations as well. But like I have been saying, we are a consumer-centric organization. We talk to a lot of consumers. We hear what they need and try and incorporate that in our products. So I just want to play a quick video for you to hear what consumers out there are talking about the Moto E series. Can we have the video, please?
Hello, Moto.
I think it is a fabulous smartphone that caters to a wide range of customers.
Motorola as a brand has been around for a lot of years, and the phones that are offered by Motorola are certainly very advanced and innovative.
Their camera is awesome.
Rapid charging feature is really good.
It has like a good battery which doesn't die down easily.
It has excellently immersive 5-inch HD display.
Excellent camera, good features and a good processor.
It has all the advanced feature which I wanted.
It's very convenient to use.
First one is gaming, second one battery life, third one camera. And I think Motorola is giving all these features within a very affordable prices.
I bought the Moto E first gen in 2014 from Flipkart, and I remember there was so much hype about it. It's been worth it ever since. Amazing phone, truly worth it.
I have the Moto E3 Power and it is so powerful. The big screen, all my movies and games, and the battery that just doesn't run out. I can't wait to see what Moto is coming out with next.
Hello, Moto.
Well, that's what our consumers are saying. They can't wait, and neither can we. So we just want to quickly talk more about, I'll just go back a slide. Yeah. So that's what we are here for, the next generation of Moto E, the 4th generation. We are announcing 2 products today, the Moto E4 Plus and the Moto E4. These are 2 distinct products targeted to 2 very different consumer needs and segments. Consumers are talking about camera, RAM, battery, experiences of playing games and things like that. And I think I'm very happy to share that now with this generation, the new generation of E4, our portfolio that you have seen so far is kind of complete. We launched the Moto Z, the 2nd generation, which is there. We launched the Moto G5 Plus, which we launched about 3 or 4 months back. The Moto C that we just launched about 2 weeks back, and now the 4th generation of Moto. So if you look across the portfolio, today we straddle from the premium category to the most value seeker consumers as well. And we are very confident that next generation of Moto E4, both the Moto E4 and the E4 Plus will meet the consumer needs that we focus on. But to talk more about that, would like to invite Anuj Sharma, the man you know, the head of product marketing for India, to take you through the product propositions. Anuj, please. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you. All right. Are we on? Okay. Welcome, everyone. And thank you for making it. I know traffic gets really bad. You know, the advantage is it rains, the weather gets good, but everyone, I think, wants to come out on the road for some reason. So thank you again for coming all the way. There's some people who joined us from other cities again. So thank you all for kind of making it. And for the people who are watching us live on Facebook and YouTube, again, welcome. So Sudhin already mentioned the fact that this is the Moto E, 4th generation. And the whole idea that we had with the E, 4th generation was to make a big leap forward from the evolution that you saw with the first 3 generations. So, you know, without really talking too much, let me get straight into the devices. So the first one that I want to talk about is the E4, right? So the Moto E4 is coming in. It's again a massive step up. As you can see, the design has changed significantly. The overall look and feel, it's a very premium device compared to the previous 3rd generation. So a big step up there, but to kind of capture some more. So it's a 5-inch high definition display. So you get really sharp visuals there. It's metal. So for the first time, Moto E actually goes metal. That's a new one. It's got a fingerprint security right at the bottom in the front, not at the back, and it comes with an all-day battery. Along with that, we are also introducing a new color. For the first time, you've got a blush gold. It's a stellar color. It'll be really hard to kind of see it here, so I would advise you guys to see it in the demo section after this event. It looks really good. It's again, like Sudhin said, catering to a very different audience again. Of course, it's a Moto. It has to come with the latest Android, and this one actually comes with 7.1.1, so no skimping out on that one. And we get Moto Display. Wasn't there earlier. And these are experiences that our consumers really value. I will talk a bit more about these, but it comes with this. And Moto E4 is available starting today in all leading retail outlets across the country at 8,999. So this is an retail exclusive SKU that we've got. It's going to be available across the country there. And I think some of you would already know a lot more about the device than we are saying here. All right, so that's the Moto E4. I will move along to the Plus, right? So the Power Plus. Now this is picking up from where we left the E3 Power and really taking it to the next level, right? Almost in every way possible. But there are about 5 of them that I would touch upon. And let me start with the main one. I think everyone knows this. We've packed the biggest battery that I ever put on a Moto device in the E4 Plus. So it's got a 5,000 mAh. It's 2 days of power, easy. Basically go from morning to night to the next day. And it comes with a rapid charger. Right? Important ask. Consumers love the battery on the 3rd generation. We stepped it up with the 4th one. Right? Give them more of what they love. Along with that, obviously what you can see here is you've got the iconic Moto design. Again, it's a premium design and it looks different from other phones in the market. Right? When you see a Moto, you know it's a Moto. You can't confuse it for something else. It stands out, and obviously it's a very premium build. So we've got 2 colors here, which is, it's called the iron gray and the fine gold. You've seen these colors in some of our other series in the past. We brought that in here. And I think for the first time, we are bringing in this super elegant color, which is going to be available in the holiday season or the festival season that will be coming in, which is the Oxford blue. Right? It looks amazing, and we are trying to get it as early as possible, but for Diwali sales, we should have them. It's going to be a limited run, so we'll have limited stocks of that one, but watch out for that when it comes in. It looks absolutely stunning. Moving on, so of course, one part is we've stepped it up in terms of the design itself. We made the display bigger as well. So now this one is a 5.5-inch display, so more screen size, more real estate area. You're going to watch a lot more content on this, and to kind of complete the equation, it's also got Dolby Atmos. Right? Again, for a first for the series, so really stepping it up in terms of the consumer experience. People with that large battery were consuming a lot of media on the 3rd generation. We said, how do we make it better with the 4th? So not only can you go on for longer, but you also get a better experience in terms of a bigger screen to watch that content and better audio as well. So you get that. And yes, it is a dual SIM device, but it also retains a separate slot for the SD card. Right? So we've spoken about this in the past. There is nobody who says that I want a hybrid slot or I don't want a micro SD, right? And most of the brands do not offer this, but this is something that we've got feedback from consumers, especially the consumers in this segment who insist. So that they kind of swap data sometimes, they need a backup, they need to kind of put all their pictures there from the previous generation. So the dedicated SD card slot becomes quite important in this particular price band, and we are providing that. So it's got 3 slots, so you can actually have a proper dual SIM with expandable storage, not compromising on either of those. Yes, it supports voice over LTE as well as video over LTE networks for the networks who support it. So not all do, but where it's available, the product actually supports this. Another part which consumers ask for is the latest Android. right? So consumers, is there anyone who says, I do not want a latest Android here? I don't think that comes in. But anyways, so 67% of consumers come out with a clear preference that I want the latest Android in this phone. They may choose to upgrade it later or not, but out of the box, they expect or they want, right? Sometimes they can't afford a particular phone which has the latest Android, but they are actually wanting to get that. And another quarter of them actually prefer to have stock Android. So this is not 67 plus 24. It's separate groups. So they want latest and they want a clean Android experience. We all know the benefits of having a clean Android. It runs better, it runs smoother. You're not tinkered around with the stuff that Google has put so much effort into creating Android. A lot of manufacturers put a skin on top, which in the long run only kind of deters the overall performance. It kind of takes away from the experience, the natural experience that Google has done so much research on. We try and stay away from that. So with Moto, obviously, you will get this. But let's also take a look at what others give, right? Or let me not name names. We all know who they are. But what do consumers get normally as an Android update? Or when do new phones with new Android OS start coming in? So we've started mapping a few. So this is Android Jelly Bean, too old. Let's just move on from there. Let's look at KitKat. So Android KitKat in this particular price segment took 21 months to actually go mainstream. 21 months is basically by the time the Android had moved to the N+2 generation, right? So you were still stuck. And amazingly, these phones were still getting launched with a 2-year-old OS, right? But that was KitKat time. This was really old. Maybe things have improved after that. Not really, right? So when Lollipop actually announced in 2014, devices in this price band actually started getting it only a little later. I think part of it was when the new E generation started in India. And from there, it took, again, almost 6 to 7 quarters to reach mainstream. So most of the consumers want it, but there is no option. Brands do not provide the latest Android. I will not even get into the stock part of it. Marshmallow and Android 7 or Nougat, too early. I think right now they're only about 2% of the overall devices being sold in the country that have Android 7. Most of them are premium, and then there's the Moto C. Apart from that, you don't have really too much of a option. What do you get? Of course, you get the latest Android with the E4 Plus. It's a Moto, it's a given. Along with that, you also get the amazing Google Assistant, so no skimping out on anything there. Right? So you get the latest software. Another thing that we've kind of seen from our consumer research, and I guess most of you guys will also kind of agree with this, on an average, a consumer unlocks his or her phone about 110 times a day. Right? Now, most of this is actually not for something meaningful. There's a small notification, you want to see what the notification is, or in most cases, just to check the time. I mean, most people don't wear a watch anymore. So this is, a part that is something that everyone does. Our question is, how do we improve it? And the first one, obviously, that comes in, and this is an innovation that we've kind of had since the original Moto X in 2013-14, is the Moto display, right? So there is no small LED that you have to color code and try and figure out what it is. There's no guesswork left. You get a notification on the screen itself, on the lock screen, and now with the new Moto display, you can actually interact with it. Right? So without unlocking your phone, without actually going through the entire process, you can respond on that notification. So suppose it's a WhatsApp message. You can actually respond right there and be done with it. Now you can choose, based on your security, to have it there or not. But it just makes the overall workflow a lot more easier, a lot more faster. You know exactly what that notification is, and you can interact with it. If you need to go beyond that is when you can actually go ahead and unlock. till then, you can just kind of leave it there. So it saves a lot of time. And is this an experience that people really value? The consumer research says yes. I mean, it's overwhelming yes. So we've got the Moto display as an app for certain Moto devices on the Play Store. It's got a ranking of 4.7 out of 5. It's really high. From a user satisfaction rate perspective, it's 95%. And these are the people who use Moto display on their Moto devices almost on a daily basis. So this is a useful, meaningful technology. Like I would probably say is no gimmicks, something that's actually useful there. But when you have to unlock, the E4 Plus comes with a really fast fingerprint sensor right in the front. So you've got that. Now this fingerprint sensor can also be used as one-key navigation. What is one-key navigation? Now, Moto has always had on-screen buttons. You can actually get rid of those. You get more space on the screen, and that one button you can actually use for multiple functions. So that one button actually does everything. It also basically helps us because your thumb is placed at that point. So it's easier and faster way of interacting or getting your basic stuff done, like back or getting to the home. Of course, it's still a fingerprint reader, so you can unlock the device or lock it with this. Moving on, you've got a camera. So we upgraded the camera from the 3rd generation. So now this one is a 13 megapixel camera. And along with that, what we've got is a 5 megapixel front camera with flash. Right, so you've got a flash in the front. Again, great for times when you're out with your friends, the lighting conditions aren't perfect, you fire up the flash, and you've got those selfies. From a performance perspective, it's running a 64-bit quad-core. Now this will come in a 3 GB RAM and a 32 GB storage. And there's only one option of the E4 Plus. We're not going down to any other variants. There's one variant. Different colors though. And of course, not to forget the fact that along with 32 GB, you have a separate SD card slot that you can expand up to 128 GB. So you have a lot of space in that you're not compromising anywhere. So that basically sums up 5 things that I wanted to kind of talk about. The new E4 Plus, great design, upgraded cameras, you've got the new fingerprint security coming in, and of course, I can't forget that one, a massive 5000 mAh battery. It goes on sale tonight on Flipkart. So tonight at 11:59 p.m. to be precise, at a price of $9999. Along with that, you get a whole bunch of launch day offers. So you can get the Moto Pulse 2 headphones at a discounted price of $649 for the launch day. You also get 2 months of premium subscription for Hotstar. And we all know the winter is here, right? So we probably want to get ready with that. You can choose your carriers. So if you go, or if you have an idea, or if you're looking at a new idea connection, you get 84 GB data for 3 months at $443. With Geo, of course, you get all the Geo offers. You've got the Geo 309 plan. Along with that, you get Geo Prime subscription, and you get additional 30 GB data over and above what's coming with the plans. From a Flipkart perspective, you will get exchange offers on your old phone, as well as there's going to be a buyback guarantee on this device. So later on, if you want to come back and get the 5th generation, you get a guaranteed 4,000 rupees on the 4 Plus. So this is, in a nutshell, what the E4 Plus is. Let's get to the product video to sum it up.
Moto.
Thank you. We can just have a quick photo op. We'd like to show you the phones. Sudhin. And
stand here.
Stand in the center, I guess we can take this.
Get the lightning.
Closer. Closer.